ended up spending till like 4 o'clock in the morning talking with Shawn and Hunter.
Right.
And they were really, truly interested. And Shawn Michaels said, can I take your book? You know, I had a whole book and video, and I was like, it's now or never, okay, you know, take it. And I asked Hunter for his number to ask him some questions, and could we get together and, you know, let's discuss this further. And we swapped numbers, and before you know it, Shawn Michaels had taken this back to headquarters, to, you know, to Vince, and in the meantime, Hunter and I started a friendship when he was home, and I started watching, and then when they were in town, I started going to the shows, and I met Vince.
What were your initial thoughts of Vince?
Yeah, I met Vince, but I started hanging out, and as more, even at that point of not wanting a job, but as a friend to the friends that I started making.
Right. What were your initial thoughts of Vince when you first met him?
That's a very good question. What were my initial thoughts of meeting Vince? And
how did you get the call? I mean, you could answer the thoughts on Vince first, and then...
Well, I think what was happening is that, as I said, when they were close to town, at that point I figured I had an in, or I didn't, but once I started becoming friends with them, I kind of didn't want to go that route of trying to get the job. I think, as a matter of fact, they were more pushing for me to get a job, and I was then backing off because they were my friends. They started to become my friends, and I think that between Hunter and I, too, there was never a romantic innuendo at that point, but we both had a lot in common, and we both started training together and hanging out together, and, you know, specifically did not get romantically involved, I think, because there was always kind of that, what are we both doing?
Right.
But so when I would go to watch Paul or Shawn, specifically Paul, they would try to get Vince to come out and meet me, you know, without my knowing. And I just sat back there and was there for him, you know. And so Vince came out one day. It was probably maybe my 4th show. They were in town, and all of a sudden he comes out, and he said that, you know, this is Joni, and I shook his hand, and he went, hello, how are you? How are you? Ha ha. Oh, you certainly are in shape, aren't you? And that was it, and he took off, and so it was just like a brief hello. I didn't really know. I knew that Vince ran the company, but I didn't really know that, you know, professional wrestling was pretty much Vince McMahon.
Right.
You know? And so I guess I wasn't nervous. I don't remember being... I think I was probably more put off by the fact that he didn't gush and ooze all over me. You know, because I expected that.
Right, right.
Not in a conceited way, but I was thinking, okay, here, I've got these people telling me now that so there's something really different. This is going to be
pretty much no-sold you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. A stone poker face,
right.
You know? Very nice. Very pleasant. And obviously an extreme presence. Even the voice and the presence.
Right.
And the hair, and the, you know, very handsome man, very, you know, very professional, but then I was like, yeah, you know, what are you doing? Now I say, you got a show to run or something? Because, you know, he just met me, and that was it, but, you know, the fact that he came out to meet me was obviously something at that time, but I didn't see that.
Right, right. So how did you get the call?
Well, shortly after that, Hunter would tell me, we've got to get you hired. I need this for my career, and